Have you ever felt the pain of someone's harsh words or found yourself enraged by a rude comment? It's like a splash of cold water in the face, right? Disrespect can take us by surprise and truly test our strength. But what if you could transform that unpleasant experience into a refreshing wake-up call? This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism is not just an ancient philosophy. It is a way to harness your inner strength, a set of tools to turn adversity into a ladder for personal growth. Stoics are like alchemists who transform insults into golden wisdom. And that's exactly what we're going to delve into today. If you are okay with becoming a person admired not only for what he says, but for the inspiring way he lives his life, then you are in the right place. But before we get into it, let me ask you a favor. Take a second to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. It's just a click away for you. But it means a lot to us and helps us keep you up to date with our latest news and strategies for Stoic living. Ready to start? Let's dive into these proven strategies to transform how the world sees you and, more importantly, how you see yourself. Lack of respect is like a bitter pill that we are sometimes forced to swallow. It can trigger a storm of emotions within us. Anger, confusion, maybe even a little hurt. It's natural to feel this way when someone devalues us. After all, we are humans. But here's an idea. What if we could see disrespect as background noise? Stoicism teaches us that our true power lies not in silencing the noise, but in becoming indifferent to it. It's not about building walls, but about letting the noise pass through us without leaving a mark. When someone disrespects us, they are often projecting their own inner turmoil, their own storms. It's not really about us. The Stoics, like wise men in the eye of the hurricane, remain calm because they know something profound. The only thing we really control is not what happens to us, but how we respond. So, when the winds of disrespect blow, remember that you have the power to remain intact. You are the calm at the center, the owner of your own peace. In the next few minutes, we're going to learn to not only survive disrespect, but thrive in spite of it. So take a deep breath, let it out, and let's enter this journey with the calm confidence of a Stoic. I once received some pretty harsh words, and the blow hurt. But then I remembered the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not over external events. Understand this, and you will find strength. So I took a deep breath and visualized a Stoic. I chose to respond, not react. I addressed the problem, not the insult, and the result was much more constructive. That's the key. When we maintain composure, we control the narrative and dictate the pace. And this, my friends, is where our true strength lies. It's not about what comes at you, but how you choose to deal with it. Another important thing is to reflect in quiet moments. For example, I once found myself in a heated debate and, instead of lashing out, I paused and asked myself if this aligned with my values of respect and understanding. That moment of reflection turned a potential battlefield into a garden of mutual respect. It's not about being perfect, it's about being aware. So, the next time you find yourself under fire, remember the Stoic shield. Embrace detachment, maintain your composure, and watch your challenges become a little less. Fellow wisdom seekers, have you ever heard the saying, when you point one finger, there are 3 fingers pointing back at you? It's not just a peculiar idiom. It is a call to self-examination, a crucial step in our Stoic journey. Let's delve into this together. Imagine your life as a series of mirrors, each reflecting not only your image, but also your thoughts, decisions, and core values. Now, take a moment to look at yourself in these mirrors. Do you see? Do your actions reflect a person who lives by his principles? Let's try something similar. Close your eyes and think about a recent moment of conflict or tension. Now, reflect. Were your actions a true mirror of your values, or did they reflect something different? Remember that the Stoics valued virtue, not only as a moral authority, but as the foundation of a life well lived. Keep those mirrors clean and clear. This is how we build a life that truly reflects who we are and who we aspire to be. Let us be pioneers of peace and admirers of inner strength. Let's talk about a superpower that we all have but often overlook: the power of pause. You know how in movies the hero sometimes moves in slow motion while everything else goes by quickly? That's you every time you choose to pause before responding. It's like pressing the slow motion button on life to give yourself time to think and process, choosing wisdom over impulse. Try it with me now. Inhale, hold it, and exhale. That simple pause can make the difference between an escalation and a calm resolution. It is a buffer zone for wisdom to come in and take control. Fellow wisdom seekers, have you ever heard the saying, when you point one finger, there are 3 fingers pointing back at you? It's not just a peculiar idiom. It is a call to self-examination, a crucial step in our Stoic journey. Let's delve into this together. Imagine your life as a series of mirrors, each reflecting not only your image, but also your thoughts, decisions, and core values. Now, take a moment to look at yourself in these mirrors. Do you see? Do your actions reflect a person who lives by his principles? Let's try something similar. Close your eyes and think about a recent moment of conflict or tension. Now, reflect. Were your actions a true mirror of your values, or did they reflect something different? Remember that the Stoics valued virtue, not only as a moral authority, but as the foundation of a life well lived. Keep those mirrors clean and clear. This is how we build a life that truly reflects who we are and who we aspire to be. Here's a tip. The next time you're about to react, especially if you're hot-headed, imagine there's a big red pause button in front of you. In that precious moment, ask yourself, will what I'm about to say bring peace or more chaos? And here's a little secret. In that pause, you will find ideas that were invisible in the heat of the moment. Wisdom likes to hide in the quiet spaces between our words. Remember, pausing is not just about silence. It is an active engagement with your inner wise. It is choosing to listen before speaking. It is about not only reacting to life, but responding to it with intention. Hello, admirers of virtue and seekers of serenity. Today we dive into a lesson that is close to my heart: the disarming power of humor and smiles. When someone throws a curveball of disrespect your way, instead of frowning, respond with a smile. Instead of a heated retort, offer a light-hearted joke. You just took back power. That's the magic of humor. Humor is like an unexpected breeze on a sweltering day. Think of humor as your shield and your smile as your sword. They protect you not by attacking, but by transforming the energy of the moment. But a word of caution: use these tools wisely. Humor is not about putting down the other person or the situation. It's about shifting perspectives to find lightness even in the darkest of times. Before you tell that joke, take a moment to consider whether it will lighten the load or add empathy. Humor is your companion, not your weapon. Remember, a genuine attitude and a smile have more power than you think. It is a universal language of kindness that can break down walls and open windows, letting understanding shine through. Imagine that someone has hurt you, and your first impulse is to hit back. But what if you choose reason instead? If you respond not with the heat of anger, but with the coldness of wisdom? It's like being on a boat on a stormy sea. You can't calm the storm, but you can steer the ship. That's what responding rationally is all about. Let me share a real-life example. There was a time at work when I was unfairly criticized. It hurt me and I wanted to lash out, but then I remembered a saying from the Stoic philosopher Seneca: the best revenge is to be different from the one who committed injustice. So I took a deep breath and chose a calm, reasoned response. Do you know what happened? I changed the whole situation. It's not about repressing your emotions. It's about not letting them control you. It's about choosing to act on your values, not just your feelings. Before you tell that joke, take a moment to consider whether it will lighten the load or add empathy. Humor is your companion, not your weapon. Remember, a genuine attitude and a smile have more power than you think. It is a universal language of kindness that can break down walls and open windows, letting understanding shine through. Imagine that someone has hurt you, and your first impulse is to hit back. But what if you choose reason instead? If you respond not with the heat of anger, but with the coldness of wisdom? It's like being on a boat on a stormy sea. You can't calm the storm, but you can steer the ship. That's what responding rationally is all about. Remember, every time you choose reason over reaction, you are strengthening your stoic muscles. You are becoming that person admired for his wisdom, his unbreakable peace. So the next time you're tempted to react in the heat of the moment, pause and ask yourself, what would a wise person do? It's a simple but powerful way to live your stoicism. We're not just talking about philosophy, we're talking about life skills. Before you tell that joke, take a moment to consider whether it will lighten the load or add empathy. Humor is your companion, not your weapon. Remember, a genuine attitude and a smile have more power than you think. It is a universal language of kindness that can break down walls and open windows, letting understanding shine through. Imagine that someone has hurt you, and your first impulse is to hit back. But what if you choose reason instead? If you respond not with the heat of anger, but with the coldness of wisdom? It's like being on a boat on a stormy sea. You can't calm the storm, but you can steer the ship. That's what responding rationally is all about. Your journey, focus on you. The journey is yours, not theirs. Their ignorance can be a blessing in disguise, freeing you from the distraction of seeking their approval. Focus all your energy on what you want to achieve success. Your achievements are the best answer for those who once ignored you. Remember, you are the author of your own story. Don't let the actions of others dictate your plot. Write your own success story where you are the hero, striving to achieve your dreams while others are just footnotes to your journey. Make your life and your goals your priority. Let others watch from the sidelines as you reach for the stars. Their ignorance should only strengthen your focus. Your life is about your journey and your success. Make it count and stop seeking validation from those who don't recognize your worth. Stop seeking your validation. Stopping seeking validation is crucial, especially from those who ignore you. Waiting for approval from someone who turns their back on you is a waste of time and energy. You don't need his thumbs up to know your own worth. The only validation that really matters is yours. Why should someone else's opinion dictate your actions? It's your life, your decisions. By seeking their approval, you give them power over you. Reclaim that power by trusting yourself and your abilities to make wise decisions without depending on outside approval. Value your own judgment more than any other opinion. Your confidence should not depend on the validation of others. Build your confidence on your own beliefs, achievements, and strengths. Every time you seek validation from others, you tell yourself that their opinion is more important than yours. Change that mentality. You live your life, not them. Your approval is what you really need. It's time to start believing in yourself, validate your own actions, celebrate your successes, and live your life on your own terms. Now is the time to act. Ask yourself if you are brave enough to stand up to disrespect and ignorance. If so, promise. Commit to becoming the best version of yourself and overcoming any disrespect and ignorance through great success in your life. Overcome suffering. Suffering arises when you give more importance to what you don't have than to what you do have. Do not allow the opinions and judgments of others to affect your inner peace. Epictetus formulated 15 Stoic principles that, when adopted, empower you to face life's challenges with strength and serenity. Direct your attention toward what you can control. Discern and separate what is outside your control from what is within your control. In disturbing situations, take a deep breath and focus on what you can influence. Channel your energy into internal elements such as your perspective, attitudes, and responses. Accept the imperfection of life. Life is inherently imperfect and full of unexpected changes. Recognize that demanding perfection only leads to frustration. Accept life as it is, work with your imperfections, and show compassion to others for their flaws. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness anchors you in the present, preventing you from getting lost in regrets about the past or anxiety about the future. Practice mindful meditation to strengthen your ability to focus on the current moment. Appreciate the positive details of the present, from a cup of coffee to a conversation with a friend. Perspective defines everything. When faced with an upsetting event, Take a step back and observe things objectively before reacting. Pause, breathe deeply, and create mental space to respond calmly and wisely. Reflect and act wisdom. What will this situation look like in a few years? Considering this question helps to gain a wiser perspective. Emotional distance provides clarity, allowing you to choose next steps thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. It's important to honor your emotions, but not let them dictate your response. As Marcus Aurelius said, if external things hurt you, it is not them that bother you, but your judgment of them. Remember, you can always change that judgment. Recognizing that you always have a choice in how you perceive situations is crucial. Even painful events can be seen as opportunities to learn and grow if you look for the positive in your experience. The quality of our experience depends deeply on the perspective we choose to adopt. Let go and accept the inevitable. It is common to feel that we deserve certain results simply because we want them so badly. However, reality follows its own course, not always aligned with our expectations. Recognizing the frustrated reactions that arise from unmet expectations is essential. Life guarantees nothing, and events do not always conform to our wishes. Free yourself from the judgment that dictates how things should be and learn to let go of the need for reality to fit your preferences. Recognize that neither life nor people owe you anything. Instead of lamenting a situation, reflect on what is within your power. How you choose to respond, what your values are, and how you use the tools you have. Epicurus stated, "Make the best use of what is in your power and accept the rest as it comes." Stopping insisting that life meets certain expectations leads to greater serenity and wisdom. Lowering expectations allows you to engage constructively with events as they unfold, and your happiness becomes dependent solely on your own character and decisions. Accept the change. Life is a constant flow of impermanence and change. Trying to control or hold on rigidly to things inevitably leads to suffering. Reflect on the reality that aging, loss, and death are an intrinsic part of existence. All relationships and circumstances are constantly changing. Accepting change means allowing life to flow naturally, adapting to new situations. When you find yourself struggling with change, remind yourself that resisting the inevitable only leads to anxiety and disappointment. Freeing yourself from trying to control the uncontrollable is the first step toward conscious acceptance of change. Embrace change boldly. Every transition, no matter how challenging, contains hidden opportunities. Trust that every new beginning arises from some other ending. Honor and mourn the losses, but don't stay stuck in the past. Focus on present and future possibilities. Judge with wisdom. Judging others is easy, but the way we make judgments says more about ourselves than about those we criticize. Before making negative judgments, pause and reflect on the root of that judgment. Does it come from your own insecurity, arrogance, or pettiness? Judgment can be subjective and loaded with our own experiences and motivations. Examine your own motives before criticizing. Consider whether there is a positive intention in the action you are evaluating. Cultural differences can also cause misunderstandings, so withhold judgment until you have a better understanding of the situation. Focusing criticism only on issues that involve injustice, cruelty, or harm is key. Even in these cases, it is beneficial to seek understanding before judging. Judgment used wisely can teach and reconcile. Offer compassionate feedback to contribute to the growth of others, avoiding judging minor imperfections or subjective preferences. Practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is an act of self-liberation. Holding on to resentment can be a heavier burden for us than for the person who hurt us. Seeking justice is legitimate, but the desire for revenge can chain us to pain. Nelson Mandela said that resentment is like drinking poison and hoping it will kill our enemies. Forgiveness does not mean tolerating inappropriate behavior or forcing reconciliation, but rather releasing bitterness and wishing the best for those who have caused us pain. This frees us from the past and allows us to explore our own unmet needs. Forgiveness does not justify the actions of others or negate the importance of healthy boundaries. Instead of holding on to anger, dig into your unhealed wounds and resolve them in a healthy way. Marcus Aurelius advised that the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Forgiveness is an act of self-love and empowerment that breaks cycles of revenge, allowing for healing and a healthier future. Laughter therapy. The power of laughter should not be underestimated. Laughing often creates perspective and joy needed to weather life's storms. Seeking humor in times of adversity and enjoying simple joys can be revitalizing. Laughter relieves tension and renews the spirit, allowing you to face the gravity of life with a healthy balance. Laughter and comedy strengthen social bonds and build collective resilience. Finding humor in one's own weaknesses and shared humanity helps reduce problems to manageable size. Laughter does not negate pain, but it offers relief and an uplifting perspective. Interior search. Focus your attention on your own growth and habits. We have direct control over our internal evolution, but very little over how others change. Instead of wishing others would conform to our vision, focus on being a positive example. Ask yourself what virtues you can cultivate and how you can be the change you want to see. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not waste any more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Personal growth is achieved by consciously working on yourself, not just wishing others would improve. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching,